This is Shonto Begay, famous Navajo artist. Now, Shonto, how were the early years growing up on the Navajo reservation for you?
Well, I didn't know any better that there was any other way to live. So we thought the whole world was living like us. So I didn't mind. It was hard. It's hard, compared to what I see today, kids experiencing and how people live all over the world. In a lot of places, we were, practically back in the 17th century. So, uh, in a good way. Nobody bothered us until up to that point. But I grew up on a reservation. It was hard.
Wow.
We did things. We had to do things. We had to do things to stay above it all.
What kind of things did you have to do?
Well, we're farmers. We had cornfields. We're shepherds. We raised sheep, goats. We had cattle, horses. So it was kind of a ranch and a farm. So there's a lot of chore to be done. Of course, no running water means you have to haul the water. This is back in the days when all we had was a mule-drawn wagons, and this what we had. And you had to go catch the mules. You had to catch them. You had to hitch them, and go haul water or hay or wood, all the essentials, or a trip to the trading post for provisions. So that was primarily transportation, and so we had to take care of the animals for that. The sheep and the goats are our food and our source of wool for weaving rugs. So of course, they had to be taken care of as well. And of course, our own spirituals. Ceremonies had to be observed various time of the year. So that's what we did.
Wow. Can you tell us what these ceremonies, how they took place?
Well, we have seasonal. Now that we're going into the winter time, now, we can't do the summer ceremonies. We have some winter ceremonies that's only done, of course, in the winter time. So we do everything pretty much by the season. And so healing ceremonies, trauma ceremonies, beauty way ceremonies, blessing way ceremonies, the red ant way, all these different ways for various ailments and various spiritual problems. So my father is a medicine man. My uncle, my grandfather. So I came from a very large family of healers, medicine people, singers, chanters, weavers of rugs. Yeah, so that's who raised me. Raised at the foot of the great medicine man. So that's how I learned. That's how I learned what I know.
Wow. What is the strongest memory of your childhood?
Well, unfortunately, I think it might be boarding school. Everything's beautiful and perfect up to that point. Herding sheep on a donkey, watching the dust devils across the valley, watching rain clouds in the summertime, watching the whole valley coat in snow in the wintertime, all that beautiful things. And then one day, all of that changed. Boarding school was introduced to us. And many of us were practically just taken off the back of the sheep trail. Taken to boarding school into a whole new world. A whole new world we didn't know what it was about. We didn't know anything about walking through a room and hitting the wall and a light comes on. Turning a faucet and water comes on, nothing like that. So all of these were new. It was not a gentle introduction. We were just pushed right into it.
Wow.
You just hauled away to boarding school.
They just took you from your house?
No, from the back of the sheep trail.
Oh yeah.
herding sheep one day, innocently, all happy, and way over there, there's something coming with a big cloud of dust. I said, "Wow, what's that?" My donkey was kind of spooked. I had to calm him down, and slowly the dust came to us, and it was a truck. It was a vehicle.
Wow.
And so the guy comes out, two guys come out, and they asked me a few questions or something like that, and find directions or something. Where, where so and so living? And I said, point that way. And then they said, "Are you in school?" I said, "No." "What school?" I said, "What do you learn?" I said, "No." So they said, "Would you like some candy?" Yeah. So I never knew what that was. I never had sweet before. Not candy. All we had was fruits, that the wild plants gave us.
Wow.
So no, we just got thrown into that world so fast. They said, "Come on, give me a lollipop." I said, "Wow, this is fantastic, a lollipop. What is this?" And then they said, "There's more. You know, come jump in." I was so trusting, I guess. So I jumped in the back of the truck, left my donkey there, the sheep, and we took off. Some miles down the road, we met my neighbor, another neighborhood boy, and the same thing happened. He was coercing to the truck, and then with candy.
That's
Sweets.
crazy how they do
And
that.
then, and I was waiting for more candy. We're going to get it somewhere. We're going to get some more where there's a mountain of candy. These guys are fantastic. They're taking me to some sweet place. But it turns out that wasn't the case. After about late afternoon, about 5 or 6 crying kids in the back of the big flatbed, I realized something's not right. Sure enough, a truck took us down to the canyon to a boarding school, unloaded us there, and we're just dusty from the sheep trail. We're just totally rugged, little Navajo kids. And of course, right away, we were herded to a shower and we were washed off completely. And that was brand new. And then, of course, after that, right away your hair is cut off. Your hair is trimmed. Your hair is cut off.
Wow.
And that was so horrible.
What does that mean to you?
It just means it's shorn, that means that you lose part of your identity.
Yeah.
And then our clothes were thrown away somewhere. What we were wearing. Instead, we were issued government clothing. And we got into the whole new wardrobe.
Wow.
So all these things were happening all at once. It seemed like all at once with no gentle introduction. So that was a very intense memory I have growing up in boarding school, and of course all the years that came after that, all the punishment, all the crazy rules, all the lies, all the things that we were brainwashed with.
How would they punish you?
Oh, the punishment, they had some pretty, I think I had some pretty creative way.
Wow.
They punish us for crazy things that kids shouldn't be punished for, like not wearing a belt. Some rules somewhere that said no, kids have to have belt. So between me and my brother, we only had one belt. So we had to decide who gets punished that day. So yeah.
Wow.
And if you didn't go to church like they tell you to, if you didn't listen, if you didn't say Pledge of Allegiance, and if you didn't say this mantra, you said something every morning. We had no idea what it was. We just said it because we were told to say it. And then later on, when we realized what it was tradition is the enemy. Tradition is the enemy of progress. What we're saying is who we are is blocking our way to a better life. And So this is what we were saying. This is what we're taught to say. And but many of us realize it. Luckily, realize it, and many of us also realize that hey, something's going on here. They're stripping us of everything we know. They don't want us to be. They don't want us to be native. Something's going on here. So some of us took that holy bundle that makes us that makes us Navajo kids, that makes us strong. Some of us took that and bundled it up nicely. All our prayers and our songs, our stories, who we are, our name, our grandfather's name, our grandmother's name, and our whole earth-touching situation. All of that, we bundle it up in a bundle like this somewhere, somehow, and buried it way deep inside. Deep inside, and just we held it, protected it. So the rest of the year, we went to their church. The rest of the year, we went and said a Pledge of Allegiance. So the rest of the years, we marched. The rest of the year, we slept in bed and marched to everywhere we went. We ate foreign food, of course, all of that. And summertime, when we finally got out of school, they let us go home for a couple of months. That's when we unraveled that bag, take that bundle out, unwrap it, become whole again. Kick our shoes off, and run across the sand dunes.
Wow. What do you think is the most misconception about reservations?
Okay, well, there's a lot. A lot of time people say, one, the Navajo Nation is part of the U.S. if we're allowed to vote, or if we're citizens. You know, a lot of people don't know that we're part of the whole country. Still, to this day, surprisingly. The misconception of the reservation, people think people are all out there just lazing around, just doing that. People are working, surviving. You don't see them on the road. You see them up in the hills, canyons, chopping wood, hauling water, tending cattle, tending cornfields, and helping neighbors, making ceremonies. All these things are happening all the time. People have responsibility, and those people that can be seen lazing around are always visible in the streets. So a lot of people think that we are like that. We are not like that. We're far from it. We are in a special place that we treasure. We have a special place we treasure, we honor, and so we go back. I go back out there every single week.
That's good. That's cool. Do you have any food or drink that inspires you?
Which one?
Food or drink?
That inspires me to do what? To paint?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. maybe. I don't know. Maybe comfort food. Really. Maybe comfort food.
Okay.
Food that makes you feel, you know, wow, this is nice. Like meatloaf.
Okay.
Like like shepherd's pie.
That's good. That sounds good. I like shepherd's pie.
Like spaghetti, like a meatball sandwich.
Now, when did you start to become fascinated about art? When did art come into your life?
I guess always, because I grew up in a family of medicine people, and a lot of the time they had to make sand paintings. Although that is not art in a sense that, you know, on the market or anything. It's a very special art. It's a healing art. That's what I did growing up, and, you know, helped out in that as well. I think there was one of the very first stirring of believing what I do with my hand could also also heal. Because my very first line was drawn on the bed of sand with the medicine people. And yeah, and of course later on, when in boarding school, when everything was so horrific, everything was so terrible, brutal, everything was just pure hell. I drew pictures to get away from that hell. I drew little pictures for me, for nobody else, just for me, so I can make my own world and say this is where I am, this is where I'm at. So I created my own reality away from the brutality, and that's how I started out. Comic books, little comic strips, cartoons. They inspired me as well. Some old comic strip, some cowboys and outlaw comic strip, and later on, army. I got into action, just doing some crazy, wonderful art because I can. I just thought everybody in the world, everybody was an artist. Everybody can recreate something of their world, and I always thought that until I realized in boarding school, a lot of kids didn't. They had no idea how to draw a line or how to draw a stick figure. So as a result, sometimes when we're drawing, kids are around, all the kids, boys are around, you say, whoa, look at this, he's drawing something. Hey, come over here, he's drawing something. So I go there, they all crowd around. I'm going to be drawing nothing but a ship, things I know nothing about. I start drawing ship, on the high ocean. For some reason, kids like that. So I stuck with that for a little bit. Then I drew Mountain Man. I drew all kinds of stuff. Anything out of my head. I was dreamy. I was dreaming a lot. So I just stuck into that dream world. Took out a lot of stuff and drew it. And then I realized that some kids never drew, but they are good fans. They just encourage you. They want you to go on. They almost to the point of slapping you on the back and say, "It's your buddy." And I thought, wow, this is there's some kind of power in here. Or at least not a power to abuse, but a power to stay alive with. So I took that on. All my life after that, I drew pictures. But I never knew you could make a living with it. It was just something that was, wow, it was a wonderful thing to do. Drawing a horse, a sheep, a hogan, a mountain, a tree, a bird. All of these things were just amazing ability to do. And also allowed me to take out a lot of my pain, a lot of angst, a lot of shit that was set with in boarding school that we were. I just drew pictures. I drew all kinds of stuff to bring that out, to externalize it. And I think that is what kept me from going crazy. Because many boys, many kids I grew up with, many of them are gone. Because, we all were traumatized in that generation before. Traumatized. And many of us did not survive. Many of us are barely surviving. And many of us are hanging on a little better than others because we have the ability to create art, the ability to do art, speak art, to cherish art, to honor that gift.
Wow. That's cool. What is art to you then? When you say it's a gift, and is there anything like more that signifies art?
Well, sand painting is what I grew up, and of course in my world, in Navajo world, because sand painting is so special. It is so special. It's a healing, and it's a way to take illness away from yourself. Sand painting is never permanent. It's always done in the morning. The patient uses it, sits on it. Ceremony is done by noon. Everything's scraped together and put away somewhere. A lot of people spend their whole lifetime drawing nothing, painting nothing but yay sand paintings or figures from sand paintings, and that just kind of disturbed it to me. I'm the last person to censor anything that anybody would do, but that is just kind of a spiritual annoyance because that's what I was taught to do. Sand painting is for luring away illness, compartmentalizing illness. If you make it permanent and hang it on your wall every day to see and walk by, I believe you are holding in that illness. You're hanging on to that. That's all I have to say about that. But no, art is. My mother's a weaver. My aunt's a weaver. My sister's a weaver. Everybody's a weaver. They weave beautiful rugs. In my portion of the reservation, it is the great Tonalea storm patterns. Storm patterns are nice area of design in the Navajo rug patterns.
That's cool.
Yeah, but my first inkling to draw a picture was I grew up an artist. I grew up a shepherd. Shepherd stays out with the sheep all day long. We go walk the hills. We're alone. All we see is the sheep and goats way down there. Your sheepdog stay with you sometime, and it's quiet. You just hear the wind, the trees, the sun. You hear the birds. You watch the insects. You watch your world. You breathe your world. You take in everything, visually and otherwise. And after a while, you just have to draw something. You just have to do something to recreate your world. In my case, I just started drawing little trees that I saw, doggies, sheep, clouds. Very simple, stick figures. That's how I began. It was, I guess, as a way to keep company with myself, being out there. And when you're a shepherd, you're alone all the time, like I said, so there's a lot of time to think, a lot of time to read later on, read a lot of books, and of course, a lot of time just to see, learn how to see your world. The world is not as confusing as it's beautiful. It's a beautiful organic design, and once you see that, once you get into that, I think that's where the magic happens. Try, boys and girls.
Good. That's a good message.
Yeah. This message, I remind me of that message every day myself. It's some of those things that you don't learn in one time. And I feel like I'm a great need to remind myself now and then.
Nice. What keeps you driving on in life?
What?
What keeps you driving on? What moves you?
Well, maybe the fear of dying. What drives me on? Just being grateful every day. Being grateful that you're part of this great adventure we call life. This great experience, the great universal experiment. That this is what it is. Just being great to be part of this moment, part of this time, part of this place. Everybody you know, you walk across every day is part of this spaceship we're on. There's no place else to go. We're all stuck here. We're all here together, so we just have to be grateful that we're with each other's company, and stop hurting each other. Please. That's basically what keeps me on.
True that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, where do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself anywhere, or do you not look into that?
Well, an artist never says I'll retire or I'm retired. That's something that we never say. We don't have the word. We don't have that in our vocabulary. Retirement. Look for it. A lot of other professions we just paint until we can no longer hold the paint straight. Yeah.
Nice.
So it is. What do they say until these? Work the brush out of my cool dead fingers. Yeah. No, it is. I guess I just keep doing what I do, and I hope do more challenging. Keep challenging yourself. Keep raising the bar. Keep raising the bar. Even if you go back and revisit something you've done before. Do it a higher bar. That's just, that's what I always believe in. And just painting for the love of it. And if you can keep the market out of it, if you can, once you start associating your work with purely economics, it kind of loses something. If you just do it for you, I don't sell everything here. A lot of things that I keep or give away to friends, family. A lot of things that are not leaving my company. And a lot of images are, because they have to be shared as well. So that's my job.
Thank you, Shonto.
Oh.
That was a good story and a good time.
You'll get an A.